A lot of people say that it's P in the dating market, and I don't think it's P, it's fear. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Janicia, and in this video, I want to talk about the dating market. It's interesting observing things on social media because if you pay close enough attention, this whole gender war is nothing but fear. Men are talking out of fear, women are talking out of fear. They just both afraid. Both very wounded and both very afraid. So I was wondering, I was like, is it just me or am I the only one noticing that everyone sounds so scared? A lot of people say that it's P in the dating market, and I don't think it's P, it's fear. Because if you listen very closely, the average person that's talking about dating today is expressing their fears and how to move with those. So the common fears that I've noticed is that men and women both are afraid of being deceived. Men especially are afraid of being taken advantage of money-wise. Men and women are afraid of being cheated on and afraid of someone breaking their heart. So when it's a relationship coach instructing other people how to get in a relationship, they're giving advice, but it's fear-based. But as a Christian, God does not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So if you're moving out of fear, who does that sound like? God didn't make men and women to be enemies. When he made Adam, he said that it's not good for men to be alone. So he created Eve and presented Eve to Adam. Adam looked at her and be like, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. He wasn't afraid like, you gonna get me kicked out of the garden, so let me not trust you. And you gonna do this and that, and you gonna steal all my vegetables and all my fruit, and you gonna try to, When he was created out of a pure heart, he said, ooh, you are mine. He realized that God presented Eve to him. It wasn't until they ate the fruit that then they started to blame one another and to start to be very selfish, right? So our natural instinct is to be pure, not to be deceptive, not to lie and cheat, not to break hearts, not to do all kind of things. So yes, you have to move forth in this world with wisdom, but you don't go forth with a tainted heart. You don't think that all men are no good because you met a few of them that weren't. And you have to trust God that he will bring you the right one. Nobody is perfect. People will make mistakes, but trust God to present the correct one to you. I also realized that we see what we fear. So if you ever really thought something bad was going to happen and it ended up happening, it's not like you perceived it to happen or God gave you a word of knowledge that it would happen. Is you thought about that thing so much that you basically created an atmosphere for it to happen. You will see what you fear. If you fear somebody taking advantage of you, if you fear somebody cheating on you, a lot of times you will see that. You will experience that on your own. If you believe the best in people and have accountability and choose wisely, you will be able to see a liar from afar away. And I also noticed that a lot of people are very selfish nowadays. We're not willing to love and to be selfless, but to take advantage of somebody. Everybody is opportunistic today. Instead of loving and willing to be loved, because that's another thing where you don't want love, so you self-sabotage stuff. People are looking on how they can come up on somebody. How can this person make my life better and I can get up off of their back? How can I take advantage of them? How can they pay all my bills? How can she give me everything I want and make sure my house is spick and span and I'm well fed? Not what am I going to give the other person? Now, I can't wait to be in a relationship that I can pour out my love on someone. They go into a relationship not saying how much can I love and pour out myself and give to this other person, but how can I get fed? How can I get my bills paid? And how can I make sure I don't ever have to do laundry again? People go into it with the wrong mindset, the wrong expectations, and the wrong heart. People don't enter into marriage or a relationship out of a pure heart, but what can they take instead of what can they give? If both people are going into the relationship with what can they give, then how are you going to be taken advantage of? And so a lot of people have met other people who have taken advantage of them, and so now they have vowed to never let that happen again. Thus, they get on a camera and tell you to move in fear as well, because they haven't healed from what happened to them either. So I've made this video for y'all to be cautious of what y'all hear. Don't be afraid of dating. Don't be afraid that you will not be able to meet a man who is willing to wait until marriage to have sex, because God has the right one for you. Don't move in fear and don't date in fear, because you will see what you fear. But have faith. When I met my husband, I heard all of this stuff going on in the dating market, that the dating market had pee in it and men are just like, oh, and I didn't worry about none of that. I knew that God had the right man for me. Their story was not my story. I'm not worried about that. I know that I will meet the right person, and I did. And so I just want to encourage you with that today. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped you, it was very short, but if it helped you in any kind of way, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, because I would love to see you more often. And I'll see you later. Bye.